Most people lose the battle of the day before the sun even rises. Not because the world is against them, not because life is unfair, but because their morning quietly sabotages them, draining their discipline, blurring their focus, and stealing the peace they desperately need to face the world. While the rest of us stumble into the day half awake, Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, opened his journal at dawn and wrote to himself, "At dawn, when you rise unwillingly, remember your purpose." He wasn't inspiring an audience. He was correcting himself, shaping his mind before the world could shape it for him. Seneca, another great Stoic, warned us centuries ago, life is long if you know how to use it. But for most people, their morning, the doorway to the day slips away in distraction, noise, and emotional chaos. If your mornings feel rushed, chaotic, lazy, or empty, then yes, your morning is killing you. Not dramatically, not loudly, but silently, one distracted sunrise at a time. Today that changes, because you're about to rebuild your morning with 8 Stoic habits powerful enough to shape an emperor and simple enough to reshape your life. Habit 1, win the first battle, wake with intention. Every morning before your eyes even open, a silent battle begins. A battle that determines the quality of your day and over time the quality of your entire life. Most people lose this battle without even realizing it. They wake up reacting to their alarms, reacting to their phones, reacting to the world before they've even decided who they want to be today. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. In Meditations, he wrote to himself, "At dawn, when you rise unwillingly, remember your purpose." He didn't write this to sound wise. He wrote this because he struggled too. He, the Emperor of Rome, faced the same resistance you face each morning, the temptation to delay, to drift, to surrender the first hour of the day to weakness. But Marcus knew something modern neuroscience now confirms. The first 10 minutes of your day shape your brain's dominant state for the next 4 to 6 hours. If you wake in chaos, your mind will chase chaos. If you wake in intention, your mind will follow purpose. Let me ask you, how often do you wake up and immediately grab your phone? Studies show that 86% of people check their phones within the first 5 minutes of waking. And that one simple action spikes cortisol by up to 50%, instantly putting you into fight or flight, not focus and flow. That's why the first Stoic habit is this: win the first battle. Wake with intention. Say it with me: the day will not claim me. I will claim the day. When Marcus woke, he didn't run to information. He didn't drown his mind in noise. He centered himself. He chose his state before the world tried to choose it for him. Your fix is simple, but it is powerful. Don't grab the phone. Don't check messages. Don't react. Decide what kind of day you will live. Take 1 minute, just 60 seconds to breathe, to ground yourself, to remember what matters. Because 1 minute of intention protects you from 12 hours of distraction. Reset moment, breathe with me. Inhale, exhale. Now repeat, I choose my morning. I choose my mind. But let's make this practical. Here's your Stoic morning drill. Step 1, sit up in bed. Step 2, state one identity. Today I am disciplined. Step 3, state one mission. Today I finish the task I've avoided. Step 4, state one virtue. Today I practice patience. This is not motivational fluff, it's cognitive priming. Athletes do it, leaders do it, Marcus Aurelius did it, and now you will too. Seneca once wrote, "If a man does not know to what port he sails, no wind is favorable." When you wake without intention, every distraction becomes your master. When you wake with intention, every hour becomes your ally. And here's the truth most people never hear. Your morning is not about waking up early, it's about waking up on purpose. Because when you win the first battle, the battle against your weaker self, you create a chain reaction of discipline that lasts the entire day. And speaking of discipline, there's another habit Marcus mastered that might surprise you. A habit that rewires your reactions, sharpens your judgment, and gives you control in moments when others lose it completely. Let's move into habit 2, the Stoic pause, the secret weapon Marcus used to conquer chaos. Habit 2, practice the Stoic pause. There is a moment so small, most people never notice it, that determines whether your day moves toward peace or chaos. A moment between stimulus and response, between emotion and action, between impulse and intention. The Stoics called this sacred gap the pause. The world calls it self-control. Marcus Aurelius mastered this. In Meditations, he reminded himself, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Most people never pause. They react. They explode. They rush. They speak before clarity. They act before wisdom. And the reason is simple. Your brain is wired to protect you, not perfect you. The amygdala reacts in 3 milliseconds. But your rational mind, the prefrontal cortex, wakes up only after 300 milliseconds. That's a 100x delay, meaning your fear reacts first, your anger reacts first, your ego reacts first, unless you insert the pause. Say it with me. The first emotion is nature. The second is my choice. Marcus used the pause as a weapon. When a general insulted him, he paused. When a messenger brought bad news, he paused. When a decision could change the fate of millions, he paused. Epictetus explained why. If someone provokes you, remember it is your judgment that disturbs you. And the modern world proves it. A study from Harvard found that 47% of our waking thoughts are distracted, wandering, or reactive. Nearly half of our mental life is spent outside the present moment. No wonder our mornings feel chaotic. No wonder our days feel heavy. We sprint through life without ever stopping to breathe, to see, to choose. But the Stoic pause changes everything. Your fix is simple but transformative. 30 seconds of silence before starting anything. Let impulse settle. Act, don't react. Let's reset again. Inhale for 4, hold exhale for 6. Now repeat. I choose my response. Here's your Stoic pause drill. Whenever you feel triggered, pressured, impatient, or overwhelmed, stop. Breathe. Label the emotion. This is frustration. Choose the next action intentionally. Labeling is powerful. Neuroscientists at UCLA found that simply identifying an emotion reduces its intensity by up to 33%. Marcus used this exact technique. Is this necessary? Is this under my control? The pause gives you back your life. Because if you cannot control your reaction, you cannot control your day. And if you cannot control your day, you cannot control your life. Let me ask you, how many arguments, mistakes, regrets, or stressful spirals could have been avoided with 10 seconds of stillness? The pause is not weakness. It is the ultimate strength. As Seneca said, anger and acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The Stoic pause prevents you from drinking the acid of emotion. And now that you can control your reactions, you're ready for something even more powerful, the ability to anticipate the challenges before they come. Let's continue to habit 3. Premeditatio malorum, the art of rehearsing the day like a Stoic emperor. Habit 3, rehearse the day, premeditatio malorum. Imagine waking up knowing, not hoping, that you can handle anything the day throws at you. Imagine walking into the world mentally armored, unshakable, unbothered, unbeatable. That was the power of premeditatio malorum, the Stoic practice Marcus Aurelius used every single morning. Marcus didn't enter the day naive. He didn't expect the world to cooperate. He didn't pray for everything to go smoothly. Instead, he prepared for the storms. He wrote, when you wake up, prepare to meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, jealous, and selfish people. But he didn't write this to be cynical. He wrote it to be ready, because anticipation is power. Modern research agrees. A study from the University of California found that people who mentally rehearse daily stressors are 32% less emotionally reactive when those challenges actually appear. In other words, when you expect the struggle cannot break you. Reset moment, inhale deeply, hold, exhale slowly. Let me paint a scenario. You're driving. Someone cuts you off. Most people react instantly: anger, frustration, tension. But the Stoic sees this coming before leaving the house. So instead of exploding, you simply note, this is one of the annoyances I rehearsed this morning. Suddenly the emotion loses its power. That's the essence of premeditatio malorum. What you prepare for cannot control you. Here's your fix, just as Marcus did it. Spend 2 minutes imagining delays, annoyances, difficult people, unexpected tasks, discomfort, noise, chaos, temptations to quit, procrastinate, or react emotionally. Then say to yourself, I will meet all of this with calm. Say it with me. Nothing surprises the prepared mind. This is not pessimism. This is mental armor. Epictetus said, what upsets people is not events themselves, but the judgments they make about them. By predicting the event, you pre-shape the judgment. Neuroscientists call this predictive coding. Your brain constantly tries to forecast the future to reduce uncertainty. When you engage in stoic rehearsal, you lower uncertainty and therefore lower stress. Let's do a quick exercise, don't skip this. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. Imagine the 3 most likely obstacles you'll face today. Now whisper softly, I am ready. Here's what happens after 7 days of this practice. You stop taking things personally. Stress bounces off you instead of sinking in. Annoyances become manageable. You feel in control of your reactions instead of being controlled by them. You enter every room mentally stronger than everyone around you. Marcus Aurelius used premeditatio not to predict the future, but to fortify his character. And when your mind becomes unshakable, your morning becomes unshakable. Your life becomes unshakable. Now that you've learned to anticipate challenges before they strike, there is one more thing every Stoic must understand. Your mind can only stay strong if your body supports it. And Marcus Aurelius believed that mental clarity demands physical strength. Let's move to habit 4, the discipline of the body that sharpens the discipline of the mind. Habit 4, strengthen the body, strengthen the mind. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, commanded armies, and carried the weight of millions of lives on his shoulders. Yet he understood something most modern people overlook. A weak body weakens the mind. A disciplined body strengthens the mind. He wrote, the body must be trained, it must be made to endure. This wasn't vanity. This wasn't about looking impressive. This was about resilience, mental resilience. The Stoics believed the body is the doorway to discipline. Epictetus trained daily and told his students, no great thing is created suddenly. He knew physical training was not about muscles, but mastery of self. Now pause with me. Inhale slowly, exhale with control. Let's tell a quick story. Imagine 2 mornings. In the first, you wake tired, sluggish, scrolling on your phone. Your mind feels foggy for hours. Everything is harder than it should be. In the second morning, you start with movement, a walk, stretching, push-ups, anything. Just 5 minutes. Your heart wakes up. Your brain lights up. Your energy rises naturally. Neuroscience confirms what the Stoics already knew. Movement boosts dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine chemicals that increase focus and motivation by up to 200%. Your brain literally switches on through motion. Marcus Aurelius did simple, consistent physical conditioning, walking, bodyweight exercises, controlled breathing, cold exposure. He knew the emperor inside him only awakened when his body did. Say it with me. If I move my body, I strengthen my mind. Here's your fix, straightforward and powerful walk. Stretch. Do 20 push-ups. Breathe deeply, move deliberately. This is not about a perfect workout. It's about signaling your brain, I am not passive. I am in command. Reset moment, straighten your spine. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Feel the energy shift. Here's your Stoic morning strength drill. 5 minutes only, minute 1. Slow breathing, 10 deep breaths. Minute 2, stretch your spine, shoulders and hips. Minute 3, 20 bodyweight squats. Minute 4, 20 push-ups or incline push-ups. Minute 5, 30-second cold water splash on face or neck, done. This activates your nervous system, improves focus, and reduces anxiety for the next 6 hours. Think about that. 5 minutes of movement resets the next 6 hours of your day. Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And physical movement is the fastest way to pull your mind out of imagined problems and into the present moment. Because when the body moves, the mind stops spiraling. When the body strengthens, the mind follows. When the body endures, the spirit becomes unbreakable. Let me ask you, how can you expect mental strength while treating your body like an afterthought? Marcus Aurelius became mentally unstoppable because he trained the vessel that carried his mind, the body. And now so will you. Because once your body is engaged and your mind is awake, there is something essential every Stoic does next. They confront themselves on paper with brutal honesty. Let's move to habit 5. The Stoic practice that reveals your weaknesses, shapes your goals, and clears your inner chaos. Morning journaling. Habit 5, journaling with brutal honesty. There is a moment every Stoic must face, a moment more difficult than waking early, harder than physical training, and more uncomfortable than silence. Facing yourself on the page. Marcus Aurelius did this every morning. Meditations, the most famous Stoic book ever written, was never meant to be published. It wasn't motivational writing. It wasn't philosophy for others. It was Marcus alone confronting the truth about himself. He wrote, "You must know what kind of person you want to be, and then remind yourself of it every day." This is the heart of journaling with brutal honesty. Not pretty words, not aesthetic pages, not gratitude lists written half asleep, but truth, raw, uncomfortable, transformative truth. Let me tell you a secret modern people forget. No habit builds self-awareness faster than writing. A Harvard behavioral study found that people who journal for at least 5 minutes every morning increase decision clarity by 36% and reduce emotional reactivity by 23% throughout the day. Why? Because the page doesn't lie. The page reflects your weaknesses, your patterns, your excuses, your fears, and your potential. Reset moment, inhale slowly, exhale fully. Picture this. You wake up your mind, foggy, overwhelmed by the day ahead. You grab your journal and write just 2 sentences. What must I absolutely do today? What must I avoid at all costs? Suddenly the fog lifts. You've chosen your identity. You've chosen your mission. You've chosen your virtue. And just like that, you're no longer drifting, you're directing. This is exactly what Marcus did. His entire empire might collapse around him, yet he still found time every morning to ask, which of my habits hold me back? He confronted procrastination. He confronted anger. He confronted ego. Because you cannot fix what you refuse to face. Say it with me, I face myself so I can shape myself. Here's your fix, simple, powerful, stoic. Each morning write just one line in 3 categories: identity. Today I am the type of person who wants. Action. The one thing I must do today is array. Avoidance. The one thing I refuse to do today is ekern. That's it. 3 lines that shape your direction, your discipline, and your destiny. Reset moment, straighten your posture. Inhale, exhale. Repeat softly. Clarity defeats chaos. Let's make this more practical. Here are examples of brutally honest Stoic journaling. I procrastinate when things get hard. Today I face difficulty directly. I waste too much time reacting to messages. Today I respond only with intention. I let emotions lead me. Today I lead my emotions. Epictetus said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Writing honestly will sometimes make you uncomfortable good. Growth always feels like friction. After 7 days of Stoic journaling, something incredible happens. Your excuses become visible. Your patterns become obvious. Your priorities become clearer. Your discipline rises naturally. But journaling alone means nothing without action, especially action directed at the hardest thing in your day. And that leads us to one of the most powerful Stoic habits ever practiced, doing the hardest thing first. Let's move to habit 6, the discipline that rewires your life. Habit 6, do the hardest thing first. There is a truth. Marcus Aurelius understood long before modern psychology proved it. Your day is shaped not by the number of tasks you finish, but by the first battle you choose to fight. Most people do easy tasks first. They clean their desk, check their messages, scroll, organize, tidy, warm up, prepare, delay. But Stoics do the opposite. They attack the dragon at the gate, the hardest task of the day before noon. Marcus wrote, do what is necessary, not what is easy, not what is comfortable, because he knew something vital. If you defeat the hardest task, everything else becomes lighter. If you avoid the hardest task, everything else becomes heavier. Reset moment, inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Say it with me. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. Let me tell you a story. Imagine 2 versions of you. Version 1, you spend the morning doing small, easy tasks. You tell yourself, let me warm up first. But by the time you reach the important task, your energy is gone. Your willpower is drained. Your focus is scattered. You postpone again, and guilt grows. Version 2, you wake up and immediately do the thing you fear, the thing you avoid, the thing you know matters. You push through the first 10 minutes. Then something magical happens, momentum. Suddenly, the rest of the day feels conquerable. Neuroscience confirms this. When you complete a difficult task early, dopamine rises by up to 30%, boosting motivation for the next 34 hours. Productivity compounds, discipline compounds, confidence compounds. Marcus Aurelius lived this. As emperor, he handled the hardest decisions in the morning: war strategies, political tensions, rebellions, economic crises. Not because he enjoyed difficulty, but because he knew difficulty is best confronted when the mind is sharpest. Epictetus said, if you wish to be a writer, write. If you wish to be wise, act wisely, meaning stop waiting, stop warming up, begin. Here's your Stoic hard first drill. Identify the single hardest task of the day, not the longest, not the most annoying, the one that requires the most courage. Do it before noon. No excuses, no negotiations. Start even for 5 minutes. Use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, I only need to do this for 5 minutes. 90% of the time, you'll continue. Reset, moment, breathe, repeat softly. One hard thing. First, here are examples of hard things. The email you fear sending, the workout you've avoided, the conversation you're scared to have, the business task that pushes your limits, the creative work you keep postponing, the studying you dread, the decision you've been running from. Seneca warned, while we waste our time hesitating, life speeds by. The hardest task isn't just a task, it's a mirror. It shows you your fears. And when you face it, you face yourself. After 30 days of doing the hardest thing first, what changes? Procrastination collapses, self-respect increases, anxiety decreases, identity shifts. You begin to see yourself as disciplined. You develop unstoppable momentum. And momentum, once built, becomes a weapon. Now that you've learned to attack the hardest task first, it's time for something equally important: protecting your attention from the things that steal your life. Let's move into habit 7. Guarding your attention like a fortress. Habit 7, guard your attention like a fortress. Your attention is the currency of your life. What you give it to grows. What you starve dies. But in the modern world, your attention is under attack. Notifications, messages, news, scrolling, ads, noise, endless distractions designed to fracture your mind into 1,000 pieces. Marcus Aurelius warned us 2,000 years ago. You become what you give your attention to. Think about that. Not what you hope for, not what you dream about. What you give attention to. A distracted mind creates a distracted life. A focused mind creates a powerful life. Reset, moment, inhale slowly, exhale fully. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a powerful fortress in the mountain's walls, thick gates, reinforced guards, trained. Nothing enters without permission. This fortress is your attention, or at least it should be. Now imagine the same fortress, but with the gates wide open, guards asleep, intruders walking in and out freely. That's what most people's attention looks like today. One notification, sure, one invader. One scrolling session, sure, 10 invaders. One morning spent reacting, sure, your fortress collapsing. Modern neuroscience reveals something terrifying. Every time you get distracted, your brain takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain full focus. Just imagine if you get distracted 10 times a day, that's nearly 4 hours of lost clarity. Focus isn't just a skill, it's the foundation of your destiny. Seneca said to be everywhere is to be nowhere, meaning if your attention is scattered, your life is scattered. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world full of war, politics, crisis, yet he fiercely protected his attention. Every morning he placed himself in what we would call airplane mode. No gossip, no noise, no unnecessary conversation. Focus first, everything else later. Here's your Stoic fortress drill: simple, powerful, non-negotiable airplane mode. Mornings first 60-90 minutes, no notifications, no messages, no reacting. Single tasking, do one thing with full presence. Marcus wrote, if you do something, do it as if it is the only thing that needs to be done. 25-minute focus cycles, set a timer. Work for 25 minutes, break for 5. This increases productivity by up to 70%. Let me give you a modern analogy. Your mind is like a bow. The more focused the pull, the more powerful the shot. But if your mind keeps loosening notifications, messages, interruptions, the arrow never flies. You remain stuck where you are. Protecting your attention is not about discipline alone. It's about dignity. It's about telling the world my time is valuable. My mind is valuable. After 14 days of guarding your attention, you'll notice deep work becomes easier. Anxiety decreases, mental noise quiets. You finish tasks faster, you feel calmer, clearer, stronger. Your inner world becomes organized. But attention isn't complete without something even more powerful, the ability to appreciate the present moment so deeply that distractions simply lose their power. So now let's move to habit 8, the Stoic superpower that reconnects you with life itself. Gratitude for the present moment. Habit 8. Gratitude for the present moment. If your morning is a battlefield, then gratitude is the shield, the one tool that turns chaos into clarity, fear into calm, and distraction into purpose. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. Before he commanded armies, before he listened to senators, before he carried the weight of an empire, he wrote one simple truth. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Not a privilege to be emperor, not a privilege to have power, just a privilege to be alive. Gratitude is not soft, it is not sentimental, it is not naive. Gratitude is the strategic advantage of a calm mind. Because when you appreciate the present moment, your fears shrink, your desires quiet down, and your mind returns to a state of control. Reset moment, inhale through the nose. Hold, exhale slowly. Let me tell you a story. There was a Roman soldier who served under Marcus Aurelius. He once approached the emperor and asked, "Why do you look so calm in the mornings, even before battle?" Marcus replied, "Because I begin each day remembering that being alive is the greatest victory." Think about that. To a man surrounded by war, disease, betrayal, and uncertainty, the greatest victory was waking up. Modern psychology agrees. A 2022 Stanford study found that people who practice morning gratitude experience 25% lower stress, 30% higher emotional regulation, and significantly better sleep quality. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it changes your biology. Say it with me. Where attention goes, emotion flows. If you start the day focused on what is missing, you suffer. If you start the day focused on what you have, you grow. Here's your Stoic gratitude drill, simple and powerful. Every morning, write 3 things you are grateful for, each in one sentence. Something in your life, something in your body or health, something small you usually overlook. Why small things? Because the Stoics taught that the ordinary moments are the true foundation of peace. Epictetus said he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he does not have, but rejoices in the things he has. Gratitude builds resilience. It shifts your mind from scarcity to strength. It turns the morning from survival into awakening. Reset moment, breathe. Say softly, I have enough. I am enough. Let's make this practical with real examples. I am grateful for the ability to breathe deeply. I am grateful for the people who support me. I am grateful for sunlight entering my window. I am grateful for one more chance to improve. I am grateful for the strength to rise today. These small acknowledgments accumulate. After 30 days, gratitude rewires your brain, literally strengthening neural pathways tied to calm focus and emotional regulation. A grateful morning becomes a powerful morning. A powerful morning becomes a powerful life. And now you've learned the 8 habits of a Stoic morning, the same habits Marcus Aurelius used to rule an empire, and the same habits you can use to rule your own inner world. But before we end, here is your final call to action. Take one of these 8 habits, just one, and practice it tomorrow morning. Then another the next day, then another. Build your morning, rebuild your life. If this message resonated with you, if it moved you, if it awakened something powerful inside you, then share it. Because Seneca once said, no man is lifted to greatness without lifting others. Your share might help someone rise stronger tomorrow morning, someone who desperately needs discipline, someone who lost their way, someone who forgot their inner strength. And if you want more videos that sharpen your discipline, strengthen your mind, and elevate your life, subscribe now to Making Life Better. This is the place where your new mindset begins, where you rebuild your habits, where you become the strongest version of yourself day by day, morning by morning. Before you go, I want you to do one more thing. A small thing, a powerful thing, a stoic thing. Comment one word that defines the morning you want to create. One word that captures your new identity. One word that declares your new beginning. A word like discipline, strength. Say it below. Write it with intention. Write it with courage. Write it as your first act of transformation. And now we close this chapter. But your new morning, your stronger morning, your stoic morning begins now.